Hey guys, welcome. In this video, we're going to tackle and test one of the most important changes in Star Citizen brought by patch alpha 4.7, which is the ship armor overhaul, more specifically the new armor's damage threshold. Now, before I start this video and start to confuse you with all the numbers, I want to say something from the bottom of my heart. By reading all your comments from my recent videos, all your caring and encouraging messages to help me in my tough times, and a lot of you shared your own life stories. All of them warms my heart more than I can say thank you for. I'm just a tiny little content creator for this stupid thing called Star Citizen, but the great love and care I received went far beyond the game itself and makes me feel at home in this community. I know there are some negativities and toxicities in this community in general, but there are even more love and positivities. This game might not be a great one yet, but this community is great because we are making it great every day. And I thank you for all my viewers and supporters. I will be loyal to you guys as well by providing the best content I can. Can't promise you that you will like every video I make, but I will always make every video with my best. Now, let's go confuse ourselves with some numbers. Patch note says this regarding the armor rebalance. There is now a minimum damage threshold for projectiles penetrating vehicle armor. This means that ship rules will play a much higher part in damaging higher armored ships. Armor at full health will block certain projectiles from damaging the armor, ship, and components. Armor, once brought down to a lower health state, will allow smaller bullets to damage the ship and components. This update completely overhauls armor values on all ships to reflect a more bespoke difference between ship archetypes. Now, just by reading this, I have a lot of questions. But first of all, let's figure out what exactly is the damage threshold. And by the way, for this video, we are not going to take the ship shields into consideration. Just regard that the shield does not exist for all the ships. And to fully understand what exactly is the armor's damage threshold, we have to use a third-party website. One of the best ones is the ERCO or the SC Ship Performance Viewer. The website is spviewer.eu. Now, on this website, if you go to items and go to armor, you will find a list of all the ship armors. You will find the damage deflection threshold. This is the new number that's added for this patch. So you have the physical, energy, and distortion, thermal, biochemical, and stun. The distortion, thermal, biochemical, and stun numbers are 0, so we don't have to consider those yet. But physical and energy we need to consider. And by physical means all the ballistic damage. I think the missile will also do physical damage, depends on the missiles. And the energy are the laser weapons. But some special weapons might do both physical and energy damage. Now, the simplest understanding for these numbers is that they stand for alpha damage. For example, for the RSI Aurora Mark 1, actually this is the RSI Bengal. For the ship, you have a armor health of 275,000, and the armor's damage deflection threshold for physical is 330. Any ballistic weapon that has a alpha damage lower than 330 will not be able to damage the armor of the ship. The same thing goes for energy weapons as well. Any laser or any energy weapon that has a alpha damage lower than 264 will not be able to damage this ship. And now there is a better chart that we can understand this even more. If I choose a ship, for example, a Polaris, this will be my ship. And then we'll be changing the weapons later. But the Polaris has a bespoke size 6 Maris cannon, which is ballistic weapon. And its alpha damage is 3,400. Now, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down a little bit right here, this one is very important to use, especially for deciding which weapon against what ship. It's called armor deflection calculator. So click it. On the drop down menu here, it says opponent vehicle. My ship right now is the Polaris with stock weapons. Now I'm going to choose a enemy ship. For example, an Aegis M. Now, on the Aegis M, the opponent shield is a hold strong. This is a capital shield. We cannot change it. But for example, if we choose a hammerhead, we can change the shield for the enemy ship. But the shield is not our concern today. So we're just gonna use the Aegis M. You have a whole bunch of numbers here. The first number is the number we'll be talking about, the deflection threshold. Every ship armor has a specific deflection threshold for both physical and energy. For the Aegis M, the physical deflection threshold is 173. The energy is 139. And now you have the shield resistance, shield absorption. We're not going to consider that because we're going to turn off the shield. We'll play the shield in another video. So this slider controls the shield. Right now, my shield is down. And then the second slider is the ship armor. Right now, my armor is at 100% health, which is this number for the Aegis M. Now, scroll down here will be my loadout. This will be the different damage effect for different weapons under this situation when my armor is at 100%. The first number right here with the bullets, this means the alpha damage for the specific weapon. So the CF3 repeater, the alpha damage is 43.65. And then the Omni Ski is 328. Here is a Maris cannon, 3,400. And then is the laser PDC. Alpha damage is only 10. Now, the second thing right here, this means shield damage. And for the damage, it means each bullet, how much damage it will do to these things. So for a CF3 repeater against shield, you can see you will have a shield resistance of plus 10%. But we're gonna turn the shield off for today. So after the shield, this one right here, like a shield, this will be the armor. And then the next one looks like a ship. This will be the hull or the vital part, which is part of the hull. So how much hull damage this will do for each bullet. And then the last are the gear symbol. I think these will mean the components. So alpha damage, shield, armor, hull, and components. So first weapon is a CF repeater, which is energy weapon. The energy alpha damage is less than 139. So the armor is deflected. No matter how you shoot at this ship without the shield, you will not be able to damage the armor, let alone penetrate through the hull or the components. However, this will be a different story for the size 4 laser cannon Omni Ski. Its alpha damage is 328. It's higher. So each bullet will do 196.7 hit points to the armor. Now, if you scroll up a little bit, under opponent shields, you can see there is something called additional damage data. Turn this one on, and now you will see this little X times a number. So this number will indicate how much the hull or the shield reduction or addition that's added to here. So we're not considering any shield, but for the armor damage, you can see each alpha damage from this weapon, 60% of the damage is applied to the armor, but 40% is deflected, which is this one right here. And this data is using the hull reduction data, not the armor durability. Because of this, it says at least since 4.6.0, in-game test shows that the armor durability modifier do not work, and the hull modifiers are applied instead. I don't know if you're confused more or not. If you are, I am sorry, but I try to make sense simple. So the armor damage is using the hull data, not the armor durability data. Just don't even look at this. So the energy weapon minus 40% because 40% is neglected and 60% is applied to the armor for each alpha damage, for each bullet. Now for the Maris cannon, this is ballistic. So we'll be looking at this column, physical column. The deflection threshold is 173. Maris cannon is 3,400. Way beyond that. So 8 will do the damage, which is 75%, which is here. So 25% is deflected and 75% is applied to the damage of the armor. It also carries the penetration value to the components. Here you can see penetration is 0.03. Let's not talk about that. It's going to confuse us more. But I think I made a lot of videos for this before. The ballistic penetration. And last, for the PDCs, it's just totally ineffective against armor. If I change some of the loadout for my Polaris, for example, I'm changing the pencil repeater to some ballistic weapons. Now, under here, there is a list of weapons. If you click alpha, it will list the weapons according to the alpha damage. So because of this threshold system, the higher the alpha damage, the better it is, right? So if I'm using an attrition 3 for my size 3 guns and AD4B for my size 4 guns, and now hit the armor deflection calculator again, let's see the difference. Now you can see my attrition 3 laser repeater is not able to go through the armor because the alpha damage is 135. But we need an alpha damage above 139. So this is a all or nothing situation. If my attrition 3 laser repeater alpha damage is 138.99, it will still be completely defected. Nothing can go through this armor. But if my alpha damage is 139.001, then the damage will be applied to the armor. If the weapon alpha damage is just a little bit below the threshold, 0 damage will be applied to the armor. So this is this kind of system. And now look at my AD4B. Even though it's ballistic weapon, but my alpha damage is extremely low, 84. But the physical alpha damage needs to be above 173. So my AD4B is useless on the Polaris. And now the Maris cannon is going to be useful, and the other weapons is not going to be useful. So this is the simple understanding of the deflection threshold. Easy to understand. Everything is related to the alpha damage now. And it's either 100% or nothing at all. So right now, the most important factor will be the alpha damage. And then you need to consider what type of weapon it is. For example, the highest size 3 alpha damage weapon is a Sledge 3 mass driver. However, you have very limited ammo. It's ballistics. And then, of course, you also need to consider the shields. So if we bring the shields online, then we probably need to mix match our loadouts. We need some energy weapons against shield, and then some ballistic weapons to go against armor. Or bring a friend. You need to be more tactical when you go to combat. And here is another one, especially the Singe cannon, which is my favorite. Singe 3 Tachyon cannon alpha damage is over 1,000. This is going to be effective against both shield and armor. And then another weapon that is pretty good is Dominance 3 Laser Scattergun. Its alpha damage is over 1,000. So it's way beyond the threshold for an Aegis. Singe 2, for the size 2, we don't have any Singe 2 in the PU. So I wish we have different Singe weapons. Singe 1, Singe 2, Singe 3. But we only have Singe 3, which can only be acquired through the Banyu Defender. And now are the deadbolts. So the cannons are always good. Ballistic cannons, deadbolts, M5A laser cannon, alpha damage of over 400, and Omni-Ski NN15. Now, patch note also says that once the armor is down to a certain percentage, smaller weapons will be able to penetrate through the armor. So let's take a look. I'm gonna bring this down. You know what? Let's change this. I'm gonna reset my weapons. And now here, my loadout is the size 3 laser repeater. It's easy to see here. Now I'm gonna slowly bring down my armor. For example, my ballistic guns are destroying the armor. Oh, I just noticed something. So the lower the percentage of the armor, the lower the threshold. Oh, okay, this is good. Now you can see at 60%, my deflection threshold is like this, but still way above my panzer repeaters. So I need to bring it down even more. At around 31% of armor left for the Idris M. And now my panzer repeater is above the threshold and can do damage to the ship. So the lower the armor health, the lower the threshold for both physical and energy. And to what amount, you really have to use this calculator for a specific ship, because Star Citizen in-game, it doesn't tell you that. So you have to use this as a helper in order to find that out. All right, let's do a little test in-game. So gladius versus a perseus. And on this gladius, I have the default size 3 laser repeaters. And according to this calculator, that my weapon loadout is not able to penetrate through the armor of the perseus, but we're just gonna shoot it anyway. So target the ship, and right now I am hitting the shield, and my laser in this patch will do a lot more damage to the shield. So you can see the front shield is going down, but we are going to turn off the shield for the perseus. And now, how do you find out whether you're doing damage to the hull of the ship or not without looking at the calculator? Is that you don't see any hit markers. You can see I just keep shooting, but no hit markers. But if I turn the shields on, and now if I hit the ship, you can see there is hit markers, but that hit marker is for the damage of the shield. But once the shield is down, now you can see I have no hit markers on the hull, meaning my weapon doesn't have enough threshold to do any damage to the hull of the target ship. However, the patch note did mention that turrets, thrusters, and other subparts of the ship now have a modifier of the deflection value, determining them as weak points. If destroyed, the pass-through damage will be affected by the normal armor value. So after reading that sentence, the question in my mind is that are the armors protecting the turrets of the ship or not? So let's do a little test. I am going to target the turret of the perseus. Fire. Oh, I don't think I am damaging it, am I? No, there is no... Wait a second. There's no hit... Oh! I think I got a hit marker somewhere. Yes, I got a hit marker here. Let's see. Is that the guns? Oh! Yeah, right here I see a little hit marker. Is that the guns? Let me check Luke's screen. I don't see the damage for the turret. Oh, just don't shoot me, Luke. Don't shoot me. I know you hate me. I killed you so many times. Oh, yes. By looking at the engineering terminal, the turret base on the Perseus is not taking any damage. However, the individual guns, like this gun, it shows red. So you can indeed destroy the individual guns on the ship. So that gun is already dead. And shooting at this gun, you can see I shoot at this gun, you see a hit marker even with my laser weapons. And this gun is already dead. Let's check this one. Yes, if you just shoot at this gun, you are damaging it. The guns is now yellow, but any part of this gun, you can see that hit marker, even in precision mode. And that gun right now is red. And that gun is white, means it's dead. And now you can hit this gun as well. Wow. Alright, now check the PDC. Oh, the PDC right now can be highlighted and sub-targeted. Shooting at the PDC. Oh, the PDC is taking damage. And it's dead. The PDC base is also taking damage. And the barrel has its own health pool. You can see now the barrel is dead as well. Huh, that's nice. What about the thrusters? This one. Shoot. Oh, the thrusters is taking damage. So they are not protected by the armor itself. And this thruster is dead. So this is also pretty good. Even you don't have the weapon to damage the hull of the ship, but you can still do a lot of damage for these capital ships. Like this gun right here. This little remote turret base. Oh, wait a second. This remote turret base is taking damage. Yeah, this turret base taking damage. Hit markers. That includes the guns. And you can see the damage effect on the turret. This thruster can be damaged as well. And thruster's dead. So all the maneuvering and VTOL thrusters can be damaged. Let's check the main thruster. So right here, the main thrusters can also be damaged with this weapon. So it's not completely useless against capital ships. Just need to be very tactical. And this thruster is dead. You can see it's not even working at all. And this one is dead as well. So you can see the thruster is not working. And now, of course, the PDCs can be destroyed quite easily. And this main gun, you need to shoot the big barrels in order to disable it. But other than that, what other ship parts can I shoot? Let's see. What about the doors? Let's check. There is a docking collar door on the side. This one right here. The door. Okay, the door is protected. This door is not taking any damage. What about the ramp? The ramps are protected. No hit marker. The elevator door protected. No hit marker. And what about this side door here? And this door is protected. No hit marker. But this top remote turret is taking damage. And this maneuvering thruster here is taking damage. What about the wings here? No. So this is part of the armor's protection. Now, on Luke's engineering screen, even after I destroy all these parts, the armor health is still showing 100%. So I'm not doing anything to the armor at all, even though I destroyed the guns, the turrets, and the thrusters. But it has nothing to do with the main hull. But I am glad that this weapon still can do some damage to the ship. And now I bet the ship will fly weird with all these maneuvering thrusters, the main thrusters destroyed. And now let's fly it. Let's see. Oh yeah, it flies a little weird. Oh, cannot control. Turn right, cannot control very well. Go up. when I go up, it goes down. Oh yeah, it's definitely messing up with the flying of the ship. So you definitely can do some damage to the capital ships or bigger ships just with these weapons. So just need to be tactical and communicate with your teammates. But there's nothing you can do to the hull with these weapons. What if I ram into that ship to bring the hull house down a little bit? Let's see how much health I can bring it down when I ram into the Perseus. All right, let's go. Ramming speed. Oh! Oh, that's a pretty big explosion. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get a look to the engineering terminal. There are pieces of the gladius inside the Perseus right now. Oh, take a guess. The armor of the Perseus is now at 0%. Wow, which means the same gladius with the panzer repeaters now can eat the hull because the hull damage hasn't been changed. It's just the armor threshold is protecting the hull. Once the armor is down, you can do whatever to the hull itself. So ramming is on the table again. And by ramming the gladius into the Perseus, the armor of the Perseus is down to 0%. The hull of the Perseus is down to 77%. Wow, which means another gladius or two gladiuses ramming the Perseus will just destroy it. Alright guys, so this is it for this video, even though I want to test more, especially how missile does damage to the hull of the ship. But I gotta take some break. I will do that test in the next video. And please leave in the comments below what are the questions that you can think of to test the new armor rebalance. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.